Hi, I'm Mark Haddon and I'm here today at the Melbourne Queer Film Festival 2017. We're here at ACMI and we're here to talk to some of the people who are in line for some of the films today, and we're going to talk to some of the volunteers. The film's about to start, so we better get going. I'm here with Chris at the Melbourne Queer Film Festival. Chris, what movie are you going to see tonight?
Mark, I'm going to go and see Retake.
Do you know what it's about?
Not yet, but I'm hoping that it's going to be a nice, concise story, well acted, a plot, and a happy ending. We all like happy endings.
We do indeed. Are you a regular at the Melbourne Queer Film Festival?
Well, this year it's 10 films. Last year it was about 12 films, and I really enjoy this time of the year for the breadth and scope of the films that we get at Queer Film. It's tremendous.
So do you just take time off and just come in and do all the films?
No, it's in my own private time. No, it's only at the weekends and at night, of course, so that's private time.
What's the best film you've seen so far?
I think it was Paris 559, because that was set in Paris. I love Paris. A lot of it was shot at night. I think Paris at night is brilliant, and then it gets brilliant in the daytime as well. And of course the start of that film was a little bit provocative, but I sat through it. I suffered.
I'm here with Greg at MQFF, and Greg is here to watch which film?
I need to check my program, actually. I've been watching so many films the last few days. I think this one is called
Retake?
It would be Retake, and I did choose Retake because the synopsis of it read very interestingly about role-playing and the way that works out. So I thought I'd have a look at it and see how it plays out on the screen.
It does sound like a very interesting topic. Now, but you've been here quite a few times this festival, have you?
Yes, this particular festival I've been here every night since last Thursday.
Wow, what's your favourite film so far?
I think that the highlights have been a film called The Pass, which was really two guys who were soccer players, footballers, and their relationship. That was very good. And there have been some interesting South American films as well. One called Desde Aya, if I'm pronouncing it right in the Spanish, which means from or beyond far or something like that. And that was about how people sometimes get themselves into situations that they don't really understand they're getting themselves into, and a bit of manipulation. But it was a bit of a thriller, and I thought that it was very well done.
Excellent. Now, what is it about MQFF that you like?
Well, I think that it's interesting to watch films that show a side of life that you don't normally see portrayed in mainstream cinema. I have to say, not all of the films are at the level or the quality that you do see in mainstream, but it's good to see what people are doing and seeing lives portrayed that you wouldn't otherwise see portrayed.
Well, enjoy the rest of the festival, and if you're here at the end of the film, let us know what it's like, okay?
Will do. Thanks very much.
I feel like you require something more intricate. So what's your thing?
I'm here with Sarah, who is a volunteer for the Melbourne Queer Film Festival. What made you volunteer for MQFF?
I was just looking for something to do, something a bit different, to meet people and get involved in the queer community in Melbourne.
That's fantastic. Did you get to see any of the films?
Yes, I've seen quite a few.
Have you got a favourite that you've seen?
So far, Barash, which is on Monday night. It's an Israeli film, and I just thought it was a really interesting exposition of their girls' lives in Israel that are queer.
So it had was it a documentary or a fictional?
No, it was fiction, but yeah, just
It was a good insight.
yeah, a really good insight and a little bit different.
That's fantastic.
Foreign films, so it's good. Yeah,
Good. Have you volunteered before, or is this the first time?
it's my first time.
Are you going to do it again?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Yeah.
What is it about the Queer Film Festival that gets people excited?
I don't know, it's a good vibe. I think there's, everyone's friends here. They have a lot of provocative films. I know I Am Mike or something was their first night film that was really provocative. So I think they just have a different look at queer life and different aspects of it. Sometimes it's like a really overriding theme, but sometimes it's barely there at all, but it's sort of just normalising being LGBT and on film.
Excellent. Well, have a great festival, Sarah, and enjoy volunteering.
Thank you.
I'm here with Ben at the MQFF, or the Melbourne Queer Film Festival. You're a volunteer here, Ben, aren't you?
I am, for the second year now. So
For the second year. So what do you do at the festival?
all sorts of activities, ushering, supporting the festival with admin and that. And generally providing a welcoming face for a really great time of year in Melbourne. So
It is a great time. And look, do you get to see some of the films yourself?
we do. Sometimes we get to see a bit during our sessions, and then apart from that, when you get some free time, we get to go see a few films as well. And it's an amazing program again this year. So.
It is an amazing program. Do you have a favourite film that you've seen this year?
I do. One of the early John Waters films, Multiple Maniacs, which was last night. It's a restored print of one of the early John Waters films, and with Divine and all the rest, it was pretty fun. So.
We just got handed lollies. I don't know why. Thank you. I haven't heard of that John Waters film. That must be a rare one, is it?
I think, I think it's just been restored and re-released. I have never seen it before last night, and it's before Pink Flamingos and all the other ones that we know, I think. So, but another activity I get to do is sell lollies for the festival, with proceeds going to support the festival is why I've got the lollies, I think. So.
Fair enough. Plug the lollies. That's the way to do it. Now, what makes you keep coming back and volunteering for MQFF?
It's something I can do to give something back to my community, and I love film in general, and also there's a personal relevance with this festival, and I like to contribute as best I can, and also I get a lot out of it as well, getting to see some amazing films, but get to meet a lot of amazing people and give something back to my community, even if it's a small bit of time or something. So are the main reasons I come back. So
Thank you, Ben, and thank you for volunteering as well at MQFF.
I'm very excited. Hopefully again next year. So and I hope you're enjoying the festival as well. So.
Lovely. Thank you very much. I'm here with Alicia at the Melbourne Queer Film Festival. Alicia, what film are you seeing tonight?
Suicide Kale.
Do you know what it's about?
I believe it's about couples going out for dinner, finding a suicide note, and hilarity ensues. That's all I know.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Have you been to any other films during the film festival this year?
Yes, I've seen two others. I saw The Intervention, which is very funny, and another film called something Olga. I'm Olga, something.
Something like that, yeah. What is it about the Melbourne Queer Film Festival that you like?
Oh, I like that. There's a lot of films that you wouldn't normally see at the cinema, that you have so many options to see, and just the variety of people that come and see the films as well.
And what flavour choc top is that? Because that looks colourful.
I believe it's the gay top.
Of course it is. Rainbow, of course. And, well, if you're here at the end of the film, why don't you come back and see us and tell us what you think of the film? And thank you very much. I'm here at QFFF with the lovely Alice from Joy, and you're here to see what film tonight?
Suicide Kale.
Do you know what it's about?
I'm a little nervous about how it's going to go. Apparently it's a comedy, but it's also about suicide, so...
So some deep, dark topics there.
Yeah. And, lesbian movies can get pretty sad, so I'm hoping that it will actually be funny.
Lovely. Now, have you been to see a couple of other films at the film festival at all?
Yes. Today's actually my first day, but just before this, I was in a really good film that I can't remember the name of.
Do you know what it was about?
It was about First Girl I Loved is what it was called.
Oh.
Yeah, it was about first love.
Have you had a first love?
I'm blushing.
Many, I'm sure.
Many.
I mean, I'm sure. What do you like about MQFF?
I've always loved MQFF. I think it's a great time for all of the community to get together. You run into everyone that you know.
Yes.
And it's great to see the films and the representation, because a lot of these films you can't see anywhere else.
Excellent. If you see us on the way out, let us know what the film was like.
Yeah, thank you, I will.
I'm here with Alana at the MQFF. And what film are you seeing today, Alana?
Suicide Kale.
Do you know what it's about?
I think a note is found at a dinner party, and it makes the dinner party a bit awkward because, they found this suicide note and, aren't sure what's going on. So
Sounds interesting.
it's a comedy, by the way.
It sounds like a comedy. Have you been to any other films during the film festival?
This is the 8th film that I've seen.
Wow.
So I've seen quite a few, but asking me what I've seen, they've escaped my memory.
Do you remember a favourite that you might have seen?
Yes, the Transformations last night. So that was about, it was a selection of short films about people who are, transgender. So,
That sounds amazing. What do you like about MQFF?
I guess just the community feel about it, just the relaxed feel, and it's nice to be around like-minded people. So.
Fantastic. Well, if you see us on the way out, why don't you let us know what Suicide Kale is all about and enjoy the film festival.
Very much.
I'm here with Cheryl at the MQFF, and she's seeing a film tonight. Which film are you seeing, Cheryl?
Suicide Kale.
All right, that's an interesting title. What do you think that's about?
As I remember, it's a dinner get-together, and somehow they realise somebody is in a suicidal mood, but they don't know who it is.
And I believe it's a comedy.
So I believe. I'm looking forward to a good laugh.
Good. Now, have you seen any other films at the film festival this year?
Yes, I saw short docs. I saw a documentary which was very interesting about 4 lesbian women in America who were supposedly child molesters, which of course they weren't. But because of the feeling in that time, lesbians were given a bad name, and they went to jail for it for quite a long time, but eventually were cleared of the charges.
I actually remember the case from the news, yeah. What do you like about MQFF?
Just the opportunity to see so many lesbian films. I will say there's a lot more for the guys than there are for the women, but it's just that opportunity, and all in a time frame, and all in the one place.
Fantastic. Well, if you see us on the way out, you'll have to tell us what Suicide Kale was all about, and enjoy the film festival.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm so horny. We haven't had sex this whole month.
It's August 2nd.
Winter is over.
Why aren't you wearing the apron?
Because I just don't want to.
Than I was before. All of my lessons so painfully sober, and you prefer learning them the night before. Yes, you did.
Can I bring something up that might be a little uncomfortable?
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Is everything okay?
Oh my God! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't mean a word of it. Wonder how long till you figure me out. Or not.
I didn't even think I ever would get married, and yet here we are sitting at my dinner table with my wife.
You never know what's
So,
Yeah, you guys are super happy.
We are.
I am happy. They're happy. Look.
We're happier than you right now.
1, 2, 3. I didn't mean who said you could
It's really fun in here.
We're here today with Keith at the Melbourne Queer Film Festival. Hello, Keith, and you're a volunteer here, aren't you?
Yes, I am, yep.
So what things do you do when you volunteer at the MQFF?
It's pretty much just like your regular cinema things like ushering, or we have an info desk downstairs, so if anyone has questions they come up, and manage standby queues and all that kind of thing. Just kind of making sure everything's running as it should be.
Do you get to see any of the films?
We do. We get a free pass for every shift that we do. And sometimes if we're lucky we can go in afterwards if we've kind of finished the work and there's space, so we can go in and sit and watch it.
So lots of incentive to be a volunteer then.
Yeah, it's quite good, yeah.
What's some of the fun things about being a volunteer for QMFF?
I think the best thing is you can kind of meet a lot of new people, and I've made some good friends doing it. I've done it for 3 years now, so yeah, most people tend to come back too, so it's, yeah, everyone seems to enjoy it.
What has been your favourite film you've seen at this festival so far?
I think it was Kiki that I saw last week on Sunday. Yeah, that was really good.
What was that about?
It was a documentary, so it was about a community in New York, sort of like a just kind of young disadvantaged kids who've come together, all queer kids from various, parts of the queer community, and coming together and doing dancing and voguing and all that kind of thing. So they hang out in a park and have dance competitions, and yeah, it was quite good because it's something I don't know much about, and yeah, I like documentaries, so yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Keith, and thank you for being interviewed for Bent TV today, and thank you for volunteering for the MQFF.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
We're here at the Melbourne Queer Film Festival with
Lorraine.
And Lorraine, you're a volunteer here. Have you been volunteering, is this your first year, or have you done it before?
It's my second year at MQFF. I volunteered last year and thought I'd come back again this year. Had a great time.
I was going to say, you must have had a great time to come back. What is it about the MQFF that keeps you coming back?
I think it's really great to have a festival that represents, the community in Melbourne, and it's really nice to have an event that's, perhaps not quite so mainstream, and to be able to see these films and to give people an opportunity to come along and see, queer films. It's something that's not offered everywhere and every day. So
that's exactly right. Now, do you get to see some of the films while you're doing your volunteering?
Yes, we are lucky enough to get along every now and again. So yeah, I've seen one. I've got a couple more booked in. So.
Oh, excellent! What did you see?
Now you have to jog my memory. No, I said AWOL.
And what was that about?
So it's about a young girl who just finished high school in America, very rural, isolated town, and then she gets involved with a married woman in the town whose husband works away. So it was their journey, and I guess a young love, and seeing where that ended up.
Excellent. All right, so if you were to make a queer film, what would your storyline be about?
My oh my. I think right now it's really pertinent time to make stories about sport. I know movies about sport and team events and that sort of thing. I think with women's AFL being really prominent at the moment, I really could see a movie or something coming about from a sporting team and the stories behind that and the relationships and dynamics. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for volunteering at MQFF, and thank you for being interviewed by Bent TV Joy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm here today at MQFF with Jeremy, who is a volunteer. How are you going, Jeremy?
Yeah, really well, thanks.
And what do you do as a volunteer here at the MQFF?
We do a lot of things, but the main thing we do is we smile and we greet people, and we try and keep the atmosphere really happy and friendly, and make sure everyone's having a great time. It's a really fun festival, and I think the volunteers are a really important part of that.
Excellent. Now, have you volunteered before, or is this your first time?
This is my 10th year volunteering.
Oh my God, your 10th year. What keeps you coming back year after year?
I don't know. It's kind of food for the soul. It's nice to give something back to the community that you're a part of, and feel like you're doing something good for the world, not just working to earn money. So it's something I really look forward to every year.
That's fantastic. Now, do you get to see some of the films as well while you volunteer?
Not generally while you volunteer, but you do get some free passes as a reward for volunteering. So this year I've got 5 shifts and I'm seeing 6 films. So
That's fantastic. Have you seen any films yet?
I have. I've only got 2 more to go tomorrow.
What's your favourite film you've seen so far?
Favourite film so far, I would say, is a documentary called Suited, which was about a tailor in New York that tailor makes suits for trans people and transforms their lives through the way that they see themselves. It was really amazing, beautiful story.
Well, it's just such a diverse range of films that are on this year, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's a great program, a great festival. Yeah, I really love it.
Excellent. Now, seeing you're a bit of a movie holic, I don't know what you tell, but if you had to make a queer film, what would it be about?
Oh God. Yeah, I have no idea. I'd probably, maybe find another story similar to a really heartwarming story similar to Suited and try and tell. I think the best queer films are beautiful stories as well as well-made movies.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much for talking to us today, and enjoy the rest of your time at Melbourne Queer Film Festival.
Thanks very much.
No one contacts us and says, I want a fitting. They usually say, this is my story.
For a lot of people with all kinds of bodies and identities, clothes can make or break every day of their lives.
Bat mitzvah's becoming a woman. I don't want to become a woman.
I don't want anyone to be like, there's curves on this body that don't make sense.
I don't love female pronouns, but I don't feel any more comfortable in male pronouns. I don't feel like any of it quite fits.
Even though life changes, I won't be alone.
I've never liked what I've seen. I really appreciate it.
I get to be whoever I want.
Everyone has a right to be themselves.
We've got Kate here. She's just been to see Suicide Kale. What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was great. It was so funny, and it was all about these relationships that really no one knew anything about what was really going on. The thought of someone who is going to die. Was something that actually touched everybody in their own way, and it created all these different dynamics that were really surprising for particularly for the people who knew about the suicide note. There was so much mystery, but it was also so kind of light and ordinary. I think the thing about the handheld camera was a little bit annoying, but it just showed that there was an ordinary situation, I suppose. The denouement was great. That girl, the little girl. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say what the denouement was, but it was so obvious when it came, and such a relief, Yeah. And it just shows how, in relationships, things do. They do kind of unfold in the most surprising ways, and that was, I think, what was so delightful about it all.
Excellent. Are you seeing any more movies at the film festival?
Yeah, I'm seeing something tomorrow, Mad Mary, but I've seen Suited, and I thought Suited was ace.
We've heard about that one.
It is unbelievably good. I just recommend everyone see Suited. It's got to be a mainstream hit.
Excellent. A wonderful recommendation. Thank you, Kate, and enjoy the film festival. We've got Andy Mack here. What film did you just see?
I saw Suicide Kale.
And how was it?
It was really good. It's a cheap lesbian indie comedy, black comedy, I guess. And there were a few sort of, production obvious cheap bits, but it was really good, yeah.
Now, you're just off to see another movie straight away. What's that?
Tomcat, which is about 2 guys in a long-term relationship and one of them accidentally kills their cat.
Ouch. Have you seen many films at the film festival this year?
I've seen 14 so far.
Oh my God, what was your favourite?
Being 17, a French one, sort of the same old coming out thing as you'd expect, but with a whole lot of levels. It was actually really, really good.
All right, we better let you get to your next movie. Thanks very much, Andy.
Pleasure.